If you need any Xbox or PlayStation codes or any cheap PC games, check the referral link in the description down below. It'll take you to G2A, and you can use the code CHES at checkout for an extra discount. Also, to play FIFA and other games for real money, check the link in the description to gamersaloon.com, sign up for free over there, and go and win yourself some cash. Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again and welcome to episode number 47 of the Chelsea career mode here on FIFA 16. We start with a game at home in flurries of snow, as it said on the pre-game screen. It's first versus 19th, Aston Villa the opponents, and hopefully we can come away with 3 points. We have ourselves a singular point lead at the top of the table, thanks to a couple of results in the previous episode. So obviously we're going to try and extend that if we can. No Hazard on the left-hand side though. If you missed the previous episode and want to know why there's no Hazard on the left hand side, then go back and check that episode before you push on any further here. Willian starts on the left for this particular game. And they're playing a similar formation, actually. Well, exactly the same formation. 4-2-3-1 with Scott Sinclair and Carlos Hill on the wide spots. And I think it was Henry Lansbury behind Jordan Ayew in the attack. So, obviously, Jordan Ayew doesn't score that many goals in real life. But on FIFA, he did score quite a few in... no, actually, I think it was Football Manager. In the stream series, he scored quite a few goals. So he does have goals in him, just not sure whether he has goals in him on FIFA. But we'll find out. There's a questionable penalty there. Varane did stick a toe in, but whether there was enough contact to go down, I'm not sure. But it was Scott Sinclair that took the penalty after 8 minutes to give Aston Villa the lead at Stamford Bridge. Not exactly what I envisaged, to be completely honest, for a game against 19th in the table. Yes, it's in the snow, but still, mistakes can be expected. But I don't want to lose against Aston Villa, to be completely honest. So we'll try and get ourselves back in front, or back in the game if we can. Nemanja Matic, though, went down injured there and stayed down injured for a considerable amount of time. He's currently, as you can see from the minimap, sat on the far side of the field, kind of just holding his feet. But when Diego Costa powers in the header, up, he's straight onto his feet and walking onto the pitch celebrating. So I was like, brilliant. Does that mean Nemanja Matic is going to come back into the field of play? No. He went off injured and will be out for a short period of time. Brilliant. Oh well, so long as he can... if he can celebrate a goal, then he can get himself back fit sooner rather than later, please, if you don't mind. We are 1-1 now, pushing 10 minutes before half-time. Good turn, initially, by Jordan Ayew, and a decent save by Thibaut Courtois as well to stop him from scoring a goal. I don't know whether they're brothers or cousins, I'll be honest. His brother/cousin, Andre Ayew, has definitely hit the Premier League with more of a running start than he has. And Henry Lansbury, obviously, is currently... At least he was. He may have transferred. I know there was a story about him potentially transferring, but I believe Henry Lansbury is still at Forest in real life. He may have left. I may be wrong, and I'm sure you'll correct me in the comment section down below. But Scott Sinclair was looking for a second goal for himself there. Unfortunately for him, his header went wide of the mark. And we're trying to find a second goal for ourselves here, and they give the ball away straight to Willian. He's going to lay it across here to the man in space, as you might expect. Pogba with a shot, but he comes off the outside of the post and flies down, and it's so arrow off the corner of the post, so arrow straight that it just flies down the line and they're able to recover it. And then Diego Costa got in the way of my next shot from Willian, and that stopped us from being able to get 3 points in this game at all. So a 1-1 draw against Aston Villa. Deeper into the transfer window we go. We are looking for right back. We are looking for an Eden Hazard replacement on the left hand side. We mentioned in this transfer targets video a couple of days ago the sort of players we were looking at. We've put inquiries in. A couple of teams have said you're just not having the player that we've inquired about. We'll see about that. Neymar valued at 51.5. We'll put in a bid of 60. We'll see what Barcelona say. Alexis Sanchez, they said, nope, you're not having him. We've got no interest in selling him to you. Well, we'll see what they say after I wave a little bit of money in their face. We started with just a small bit of 35, and we'll see if they'll accept that. I have absolutely no idea whether they will or not when we're at this point in the recording. Marco Reus, they want 63 million for. No, I'm not going to pay £63 million for Marco Reus. He's very good. He's not £63 million good, and we'll see what happens. Now, obviously, we do have an incredible amount of money, so it doesn't necessarily matter how much we pay for players, but I'm in a, catch-22. If I try and be kind of stingy and get them for as cheap as possible, people complain that I'm, being stingy and trying to get them as cheap as possible when I've got loads of money. If I go out and buy them for a large price, then people go, oh, you've got loads of money, but you've overpaid for him and you've spent too much. So I'm just going to do it the way that I normally go about transfers, which is trying to get the best deal possible. So that's exactly what we're doing. We are offering for David Alaba here as well. Obviously, we mentioned that we're probably not going to go for him, but we'll wait and see what happens on that front. As you can see, rejecting an offer for young Santoso. Finally, we've started to get some interest in him from other clubs, which means to me, or shows to me, that he's definitely worthy of progressing forwards and keeping at the club, and hopefully he can become Courtois' replacement at some point in the future. Although how far we'll actually go season-wise with this series, I'm not entirely sure. Courtois is probably going to be number one for the entirety of it, but we are trying to move on Juan Cuadrado, and we saw Hazard go out to Real Madrid, which is obviously probably the most realistic of transfers we could have found, considering he's heavily linked with Real Madrid in real life. And obviously Juan Cuadrado is in real life on loan at Juventus, and that's where we recorded him from loan last year. So for him to actually potentially go back to Juventus on a permanent is probably the most realistic transfer for him as well. So I'm actually quite happy with the way things are panning out so far in this transfer window. Obviously, I'd love to have kept Hazard, but with that decision being taken out of my hands by the board, then I'm happy with the way things have played out from a realism point of view. But as you can see, still trying to work out deals for all of the various players we're in for currently, and we get another offer in here for Baba. Now, we've got Jose Gaya as my number one left back, and he's 83 rated now and growing quite well as a youngster. I'm really not keen on dropping him to the bench, selling Baba and bringing in David Alaba as a number one left back. We are looking for a backup right back as well, obviously, and that's why we're looking at this man, Mario Gaspar. I said that he was my favourite of the handful that I showed you, and so far he's the only one that we've had a bid accepted for. Still in with offers for Mario Fernandes and for Fabinho as well from Monaco, but Yevgen Konoplyanka is another player that we're potentially looking at on the left-hand side of midfield. We're still trying to work out a deal for Royce. We paid 50 for Bale. We'll see if they'll accept 50 for Royce. But before we get there, there's another game to be played. As you can see, Chesterfield versus Chelsea in the FA Cup. And obviously, we're going to play the kids in this one, as we want to try and give them as much first-team experience as we can in games that don't necessarily, A, either mean that much, or B, present themselves with all that much difficulty. And to be fair, Chesterfield shouldn't be too difficult a test. Although saying that, Port Vale did knock us out of the Capital One Cup earlier on in the season. So John Terry's in there, Willian is in there again on the right hand side, Kennedy, Nathan Traore round out the front four. We got Ramirez at centre mid, because obviously I would have used Chaloba, but he's gone out on loan to MK Dons. So it's Ramirez that sits alongside Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and they started off very well actually. Chesterfield, sorry, not Colchester. They hit the post, but we were going to go back up the other end 25 minutes in or so. It was raining quite hard, but we were able eventually to get the feel for the game and figure out what sort of way Chesterfield were going to play. And they actually played quite attacking football, in fairness to them, which kind of was their downfall, because they left spaces at the back, one of which Kennedy was able to find and fire the ball into the back of the net to give us a 1-0 lead. Kennedy again on the ball here, dances past a couple before laying it into Ruben Loftus-Cheek's path. That ball wasn't necessarily meant for Kennedy again. You see Baba on the outside. It was intended for him, but Kennedy turns inside. There's so much space in the middle. I had to pick out one of them. Ruben Loftus-Cheek was the man that put the ball into the back of the net when it came across to him. That's 2-0 just before half-time. We are into the second half, trying to get ourselves a third to really kill the game off, because Chesterfield, to be fair, like we said, they are actually being quite the tough test. They're having a couple of chances. They've hit the post once already, played the ball through here. They've got a man over on the far side. It's only a very good save down low with his feet from Santoso that stops them from bringing one back. Now, Santoso there kind of reminded me of Petr Cech, because when he was at Chelsea, presumably he has done quite a lot of it at Arsenal as well. He does save a lot with his feet. Unfortunately, though, the goalkeeper at the other end wasn't able to save with either his feet or his hands. A wonderful counter-attack. I actually think Nathan was offside when that ball was played through, and I was fully expecting, when I played the shot into the back of the net, for the goal not to count. You see Nathan running through here, and he looks like he's just beyond that last defender when the ball's played through, but we'll take it. We'll take it. That's 3-0, and probably game over as far as Chesterfield are concerned, although considering the way Port Vale played against us, I won't put them getting at least one goal out of the window. But Willian breaks into the box here looking for a fourth, and that really would put the game beyond any reasonable doubt. A fourth goal would definitely make me finally comfortable enough to convince myself that we are going to win. But I don't know how that wasn't a penalty. Completely battered by the defender there. He stays on his feet. Well, no, he doesn't stay on his feet. So he goes down, keeps the ball underneath his feet, and then tries to dink it into the box. Fair play to him for carrying on. Got up, brushed himself off, and tried to continue to score the goal. Unfortunately for him, though, it didn't work. And then Nathan squares this to the man. Free at the back post. Bertrand Traore. 4-0 Chelsea over Chesterfield. We are definitely quite comfortably through to the next round of the FA Cup. Brilliant, fantastic. Right then, Bayern turned down bids for Lahm, so I decided not to go ahead with that. Juventus are going ahead with the offer for Cuadrado, the counter of 18 million. As you can see there underneath that, though, Neymar has accepted a contract offer. We're stalling that for now because we have not yet made a decision about the right back, or we're still waiting, we're still waiting for decisions on the other left midfielders to see if we can get them in. Mario Gaspar is now confirmed as the new right back, so we can reject the accepted offer for Mario Fernandes and we can reject the accepted offer for Fabinho. But here is the conundrum. There is a vote in the description down below. I've purposefully not mentioned it to the end of the video so that people actually watch the full video first before voting. But you guys need to decide in that vote whether A, we sign, or which left midfielder we sign. You can vote for multiple options, so let me know which left midfielder to sign. We have Alexis Sanchez, Royce, Konoplyanka and Neymar, and then there is also the option there because Alaba has accepted a contract offer. You guys need to vote in the vote as well and let me know whether we either A, keep Baba and reject Alaba and have Jose Gaya as our number one, or we accept Alaba, sell Baba. The names are so similar. Keep Alaba, sell Baba, drop Jose Gaya to drop Jose Gaya to reserve left back, and have David Alaba as the number one left back. A lot to take in. And there won't actually be that many of you that have made it 11.5 minutes through the video. So if you have, and you're now voting in that vote, I appreciate that. Because the past few times, in fact probably for the past year or so, whenever I put a vote, I always mention it at the start, and then people just don't watch the video, they go vote, and then that's it. So I wanted to make sure that those of you that are committed to the cause, and are, you know, willing to watch the full video, are the ones that get to vote and have the true, real say. So let me know in the comment section which way you voted. Let me know on Twitter which way you voted. There's a link to my Twitter in the description down below as well, and obviously feel free to follow me on Instagram or Facebook or Twitch, where I'll probably be streaming later on tonight as well. But for now, that's going to bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, check the channel page for anything you may have missed over the past few days, and I will see you next time.